Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's a pleasure again to have all of you here. And you know what? The way that we're going to start today is, at the moment, my schedule is very busy because I'm studying and I have to also conduct my business. And, I'm trying to fit everything into one day. And I noticed that when you want to try to fit everything, but you don't schedule it, then it actually becomes very, very difficult because from phone calls to emails to, study, you get carried away and then suddenly you follow what you're supposed to do. So from that, I learned then organize your day. Make sure that you schedule everything during the day. So like that, you can do the things that you want to do. And part of doing the things is studying the Bible, right? And I think this is such an important moment because if you want to get closer to Jesus, Jesus is the Word, and therefore the Word is the Bible, right? So make time in your schedule, like set an hour, in your schedule to read the Bible. All right, and you will see, you will discover things. The Bible will end up talking to you. I know that sounds crazy, but this is really what will happen. The Bible will end up talking to you. What I was reading the Bible about few days ago, I was in the book of John. And, I started to read from, chapter 6. And I was reading it, and of course, I was marveled, amazed by Jesus making miracles, right? Everybody who followed Jesus, everybody, they are far from the city, they're far from everything, most probably it must be getting late, and everybody is hungry. So the disciples come and see Jesus, and Jesus says, what can we do? Everybody is hungry, how are we going to feed everybody? And then there was this small boy. He was the only one with food. 3 loaves of bread and then 2 fish. And out of these 3 loaves of bread and 2 fish, Jesus ended up multiplying the food by praying thanks to his Father and ended up feeding everybody. So 5,000 men. So if you calculate 5,000 men with women, another 5,000, and then all the children, maybe another 5,000, if it's not more. You can imagine that actually Jesus ended up feeding 15,000 people. And everybody there could see this, right? It was not a miracle happen in secret, like the water turned into wine. It was a miracle done in the front of everybody. So everybody should have eyes of amazement. But yet, few verses down the line, you read in verse 30 to 35, then the people were complaining. They were hungry. There were no food. Miracles happened. Feed 15,000 people at least. And people start saying, our fathers, they were eating manna food. So manna is actually food from the sky. So, during the cross of the desert, when Moses took people from Egypt to the promised land, every day food was delivered to them from angels. So that's manna food. And I was reading this and I'm like, how ungrateful people can be. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. You're there, far from everywhere. There is no food available. You did not even bring your own food yourself. You didn't even look after yourself. You have someone who make a miracle happen, giving glory to his Father, multiplying the food for everybody. That happened in the front of your own eyes, and the only thing that you can think of is complaining. Have we become ungrateful believers from the beginning? Questioning myself, I'm like, is this a pattern? I mean, are we so selfish? Are we so introverted with our own life that we don't see what's happening in the front of us? Should only things happen in our life? Should we not be happy for something that is happening into other people's life? Should we not be happy for people getting healed? Should we not happy for people finding direction in life? I mean, every time I go to the dome, I am mesmerized. This miracle happened in front of my eyes. This is something that you read in the Bible. Something miracle happening, the people who were around Jesus, right? And a miracle happened in front of them. What are the opportunity today to see miracle happening in the front of you, and miracle in that magnitude? People waking up from wheelchair, people who were in beds for years and now they can walk. I mean, should this not take over all your personal, if the seat is too hard, or if the service is too long, or if you are hungry or thirsty? I mean, should not this change your perception of life? So I start reading more into the Bible. I'm like, okay, let me, I love studying, right? I think I have become a Bible nerd. Never in my life did I thought I would say that, but I think I'm becoming a big Bible nerd. And I think we need to thank my father for, imparting in me the love of the Bible. Then I start reading, and then I start finding a lot of different examples of people being ungrateful. The people from Egypt, they were slaves. The Egyptians were using and abusing the Jews. The Jews were slaves. They didn't eat the way that they wanted to eat. They were beaten if the work was not fast enough. They didn't have enough food. They didn't have enough sleep. Correct? And there is one guy who says, I have heard God, and guys, I'm going to make you free. I'm going to remove the slavery from you now. Now, guys, we're going to start. You're going to have a different life. So, Moses takes everybody out of Egypt. And again, everybody can see all the miracles happening in the front of them. It was not as if, guys, let's go and then, no. There were several things that happened, in Egypt. Everybody witnessed. Everybody witnessed the frogs everywhere. Everybody witnessed the plagues. Everybody witnessed the river turning into blood. Everybody witnessed this. And if they did not witness it, 100% sure that people will be talking about it. And then they leave. And then, the sea part in the front of them. Some people say then they walk on the sea. So whatever they walk on the sea, or the sea parted, and then they cross the sea. Imagine this happening into your life, in the front of your eyes. I mean, for the rest of your life, those images must be in your mind. So now they cross the sea, they are in the desert, and then they are moving, and the trip takes a little longer than planned. Okay, that was supposed to be maybe a 7 to 10 days plan. He ended up to be 40 years. So I understand, and people will feel a little bit frustrated about the length of the trip, right? But you just saw so many miracles happening in the front of you. How can this leave? This could not leave your mind. And then don't think only about you. Think about how this change will affect the generations. Because yes, you were a slave, but now all the children that you will have will be free. Imagine how this will change their life. And yet people were complaining. People will say, if I knew that this trip will be so hard, if I knew that this trip will take 40 years, I would have rather died in Egypt. Can you imagine how ungrateful these people were? You freed them from slavery where they were beaten, used and abused, and once they are free, they say maybe we should go back and be enslaved again. How nonsense! How ungrateful people can be. And when we have things happening in our life as Christians, don't think of only you. Think of the generation to come. Look at how you're going to change the life of the people around you. You are not the middle of the earth. The rest of the earth doesn't rotate around you. The earth rotates around God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. It doesn't rotate around you. So be grateful. Be grateful. Learn to bring that gratefulness in your life. Even if on a daily basis, maybe things happen, correct? But before you fall asleep, before you go to bed, in your prayer, recenter yourself to how grateful you are. How amazing is the life that we are living right now. Look at this. Me and Christ, I'm full on for Christ. So every day I see things and I'm like, wow, how did this happen? Imagine, what we're seeing in the front of us. How mesmerizing is this? For me, I'm always stunned. Okay, look, again, I'm going to take example, in the Bible. The lepers. 10 lepers come to Jesus. They have the worst disease. They have the worst disease that they could have at their time. They were put aside and actually they were taken away of the city. Nobody wanted to talk to them. Everybody was casting them away. They were rebuked by people. 10 of them come to Jesus. Jesus welcomed them. So much love, as he always do. How grateful should you be? Out of the 10, only one came back to see Jesus to thank him. How ungrateful these people must be. At the dome, how many people that Dad heals? Every Thursday, every Sunday. And that is the miracle that we see. What about the miracle that happened behind closed door? Picture. We forget to see what's happening in our life. Guy, if there will be an epistle written, we will be the one sitting with prophet around prophet. We are part of the Bible. We will be part of the people who are around Jesus. This is what's happening in our life. Can you imagine how excited we should be on the daily basis? Can you imagine? And let's not be ungrateful. Let's look at more than what's happening in our life. And this is really the message that I want to share with TGC friends. Dad he wants to start a church in France. Dad has chosen someone. He says, guys, I'm going to give you a pastor. Correct? And you have a pastor who really loves you. I love you guys. I love you so much. No, but it's disheartening. It's disheartening to see the amount of energy that Dad is putting into this ministry. Come on, Dad has sacrificed his life for us. Now he has no life. The church, the ministry is his life. And he has carried with him Pastor Melanie. Pastor Melanie also now has no life because now the life is the ministry. She follows the husband. And what about the children? Guys, how thankful we should be. Really. Look at, and it's not to give just praise, but look at the people in Sri Lanka who are organizing this Zoom meeting. It's 11:30 at night for them, 12 o'clock at night and they are up for us. But yet my people here, they cannot give 1 hour a month. So then is this useless? Are they real believers? Are they real dad followers? That's my question. Because if all of you want a physical church, the physical church will not happen with having 2 to 3 people who follow us all the time. It will never happen. Just to do the setup, we need 10 faithful, committed people to register the church, in France. Do we have those 10? Look at who is online. Look, I have always the same people, and I am not complaining for the people who is online because I love them dearly. We cannot be ungrateful like this. We cannot just come to Prophet whenever we need something. We cannot just come to church when we need something and then expect miracles in your life. It's not possible. So, I just wanted to bring you to this scripture, really, because I think then a lot of people in the Bible have missed that great opportunity because they were too caught up into their life and they were not able to see the big picture. And in France, if we do not do this, it will be the same. We will miss this great opportunity. So, let's, bring courage. And I think that this is really what we need to look. We need to look at our blessings. We need to look at what's in the front of us. We need to look and say, wow, actually, I'm part of something which is absolutely amazing. Guys, this is something which is magnificent. And this will have never happened in my life if Dad will have never imparted, take me aside, care for me, mentor me, bring me to where I am today. I don't need to talk to him every day. I don't need to see him all the time because I just know that I am in his prayers. And then when I know that I am in his prayers, then I'm a receiver of his grace. And this is where all of us should be. I want your life to change. Don't you want a better life? Don't you want things to, your finance to increase? Don't you want to find direction? Don't you want something different in your life? Whatever it's a direction, whatever it's a healing, don't you want something different? How is this not going to happen if you're not partaking into the grace that is giving us? Really, brothers and sisters, now more than before, please, take this message seriously. Take this calling seriously. Then we are setting up a church in France. And we will, by the door, by the window, one way or another, we will start. But I will love it to be with you and not to be with somebody else. Because you are important to me. So I hope you were blessed by this message. I know it's a little different message than the others. But, sometimes it's good to have a wake-up call. Let's not be ungrateful believers. Let's recognize the grace which has been given to us by our prophet.